schools work. At this point in time, my feeling is that I've accomplished a lot and I'm ready to go on to the next level, wherever that may be. First of all, I'm going to take a vacation. And second,
very well deserved.
and before the end comes, God willing, I will sit down and put some of my thoughts down on what works in a school, like Our Lady of Perpetual Help, and what does not work. Because not all schools are the same, and I know that my contribution has been from who and what I am, and from my background. Not everyone has the advantage of having a background like I had, because I grew up in the Catholic schools of the 50s and started in the 60s, and so have seen the transition from the very traditional methods of teaching to more modern methods and changes in the emphasis in schools. You go from things like cooperative learning, and then you have special kinds of grouping, and then you all of a sudden you have computers and copy machines, because realize, Liliana, I was a principal before copy machines were in our offices.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So,
And you mentioned a really important question. 49 years of a beautiful journey in education.
yes.
A principal is in retirement. Who was Daniel Quill 49 years ago and who is now?
49 years ago, I was 20 years old, and I was teaching 7th grade in a Catholic school in the Chicago Archdiocese. And in those days, at 4 o'clock, I would be out on the field with my students playing touch football and running up and down the field as fast as I can, and probably beating most of my students, because
Oh,
I could do that. I could run that fast.
okay.
Now it's a little different. As we mature, we don't run quite so fast, but I can jump pretty high still, and I keep up with them. But realize too that the importance for me in the school are the children. It's my students, and I consider them my students. They're my children, because I'm raising other people's children
Yes.
when they're in school,
Yeah.
and so they're my children. And there is a different spirit that comes when you embrace your students as your own, and you make sure that they get the best of what you can give them.
In all those 49 years, Mr. Daniel Quill, who is in retirement from OLPH, you were the first contact for our children and students. You built executives,
Hmm.
teachers, careers. You build successful careers with your good morning and your message every day through your leadership with teachers, administration, involvement, and love.
I believe we do just exactly that. We build leaders day by day, and I have seen some of my students who have come back to me as adults. My first students are now 62 years old, and
Oh, how
so I was only
wonderful!
7 years older than they when I started teaching.
Wow.
So I have seen some in very high positions, leadership positions, but I know that the children that I'm working with today come to school, and they know that our school is a safe and warm place. And the important thing about school is that children love to be there. Uh, it does my heart good to watch children run up to school and be excited about getting to be there today. Uh, Not to sit at home and hate to go to school, because it's a terrible place to be. You want it to be a very loving place and nurturing, and for me, that's what makes a school really successful. Then your leaders will emerge, and you can have the naughtiest little boy in 3rd grade sometimes